Joining us now from Washington is Dr. Ravi Perry. He is a political science professor at Howard University, another prestigious school. He served as Department of Political Science head at Howard from 2019 to 2022. All right, first of all, am I being unfair in my analysis of the Biden speech?
Yeah, you got a few things just inaccurate. I know you'd appreciate this. I know you know spin zone and fact.
Sure.
Let's try we can agree on some things. There have been some series of book bans. I'm former president of the Association for Ethnic Studies. We, along with the American Library Association and PEN America, we track this information. And American Library Association has noted over 4,000 titles have been banned, many of them of African-American origin in terms of the authorship. In Florida, over 3,000 books banned in the past year alone across 11 districts, according to PEN America. This has been cited in NPR and New York Times. So I'm sure you...
Let me jump in. We have the same information from the American Library Association. The books have been challenged, not banned. Challenged.
They have been censored, and so
can you give me a school district? Can you give me one school district? I gave you one that took my book off the shelf. Can you give me one school district that have taken books out of the school library based on African American history? Just one.
Name any district in the state of Texas that has been doing this for decades. And we in the
so you saying all school districts in Texas have done it?
Under the last several decades of GOP leadership. Here's why. State school boards, you should know this, you were a former teacher like my mom. State boards of education, which are in most cases are appointed by governors, are the ones that actually set curriculum. School boards set policy. And so when you see parents fighting at school boards in the local districts about what their children are learning or not, what they are objecting to is, in fact, curriculum. And curriculum has largely been watered down in GOP-led states with governorships because the GOP has been effective over the past 20, 30 years and really in taking over state executive leadership and state.
All right, but look, here's what I'm trying to say. Here's what I'm trying to say to you. There is no mass book ban in the United States about American history. There isn't. It doesn't exist.
That's inaccurate, Bill. That's inaccurate.
Well, you and I disagree because I've got the library stats. And we have challenges. We have challenges, no bans. That's what we have.
And how about we talk about what we should be offering? Why can't we teach?
All right, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to the bigger picture. But you challenge, Doctor, you challenge my facts. My facts are correct. There's no mass book ban of African-American history in this country. There are challenges, and you're right. Some local school boards are ridiculous. Look, you think I like killing Reagan being pulled out of the schools in Escambia County? That's insane. So I know what's happening. Somebody, we wrote a book on Reagan. It's honest. Good and the bad. They didn't like it. So they pulled it. So that happens. I agree. No mass book ban. And that's what Biden's trying to sell.
My point is that as an educator.
The what?
Well, I just think that as an educator, hopefully you agree that educators are the ones setting curriculum. It should not be parents.
I agree that the local school boards,
not political.
I agree that the local school boards should set, it's a local issue, all right? And that they should be absolutely bend over backwards to get the material into the school library so the kids can read a number of things. That's what I agree with. Now, the election workers, okay, we cited two. We can't find any others. Whereas the president of the United States is telling the Morehouse, hey, they're under constant attack everywhere. Come on. That's an exaggeration meant to inflame the students against the country. That's what it is.
No, systemic discrimination is not exaggeration. It's my lived experience. The fact that I have, a grandfather that was, that had a father that was enslaved. This is documented evidence.
That's in the past. That's history. We're talking about 2024 now. We're talking about graduates from college who have to go into the marketplace and compete for a prosperous life. What happened to your...
I know students at Morehouse are very well prepared, and the president encouraged them that they are well prepared, but that they should, in fact, face the reality that the world and the deck is in many cases stacked against them. You're going to say that black men in America have had an equal opportunity bill? Really?
No, I'm not going to say that, and that would be absurd because black men in America have had a much rougher road than white men. Everybody knows that. But if you build a wall of grievance, if the students coming out of Morehouse have a chip on their shoulder and an attitude, if I don't succeed, it's the white man's fault, that's destructive. No, that is destructive.
That's not what President Biden said.
That's what I heard.
President. What he said is he did use the reference to they, and they are institutional forces, sometimes ideological actors, sometimes interest groups, sometimes powerful corporate interests, sometimes infiltration of Russia and China in other people's elections that want to try to convince African Americans not to vote in their own best interest. That was the case in the 2016 election. These are absolutely documented instances of structural inequality that has systemically hindered the opportunities and life chances for black men, even with college degrees. And so, yes, it was important to not do a wall of grievance, as you say, but to recognize the pain and the horror of decades of generational genocide committed.
Well, I think everybody, any fair-minded person recognizes that. Now we need to move forward. Let me ask you this. So if you were speaking at Morehouse, okay, are you going to set your tone of your speech to be grievance, all right, unresolved grievance, or optimism that if you work hard, no matter what color you are, there is no limits to how you can succeed? Because there really isn't any limit in this country, as Barack Obama proved. There's no limit now.
All right, no, but in the individual instances of black success of a certain small number do not in any way negate the reality of significant black challenges in employment, significant challenges in access to health care, that the Affordable Care Act and policies that the Biden administration has in fact supported.
Well, here's the irony of what you're saying. Under Donald Trump, black unemployment was the lowest in history. This is the irony. And you know, the African-American community, generally speaking.
As we all know, economic numbers lag beyond the particular time in which a president is in office. Every party does this, but just because you have good economic numbers while you are in office does not mean it's a result immediately of your policy. Sometimes it takes...
It's the only yardstick we have, and more blacks were working under Trump than ever. And I have that coming up.
Even if we accept that was then. Right now, we have more blacks working under Biden than ever. So let's talk about that now.
No, you don't. It's a higher percentage of unemployment under Biden than it was under Trump. And that's an interesting stat. I didn't even know that till this morning. Final question for you, and I appreciate the debate, believe me. I give money to Talladega College. You know that, in Alabama. And the reason I do is because Talladega is a working class situation. And that's where I went to college, in a primarily white working class school. Now, Talladega College is in business, all right, to lift up the poorest African Americans. That's what they're in business to do. And they're doing a damn good job of it, which is why I give my money to them, all right? Because I, have a relationship with the president. I know what they're doing. I know what they're trying to do. But I told the president, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I said, I don't want to support you or Talladega if you're going to sell grievance. You have to understand what happened. You have to understand the history of it. You have to
be willing, Bill, to reframe what you call grievance as rather a retelling of the accurate story of our lived experience in the past and how that affects our present. That is the reality. You call it grievance, I call it my lived experience.
Don't set up a racial polarized society where if you fail, because everyone does,
I think
you're blaming it on skin color. Last word.
I think we have a racially informed society. I think you would agree with that. We need young people to know white studies, black studies, Latino studies, Chicana studies, Native American studies, queer studies. We need students of all graduate classes to understand how white people became white, how when we came here.
No problem with that. I've wrote a series of history books that goes absolutely all through that. And if you read Killing Lincoln, the black experience is highlighted there. Hey, Doctor, very, very good debate. We really appreciate your time. And we'll do it again, I hope, sometime. Thank you very much. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation supports America's greatest heroes, U.S. service members, and first responders who gave their lives, those catastrophically injured in the line of duty, and homeless vets. The Foundation's Gold Star Fallen First Responder and Homeless Vet programs honor the sacrifices made by men who fought and died for us, and women who risked their lives for our country as well. The Foundation's Never Forget program engages people in 9/11 remembrances across America with more than 80 runs, walks, and dozens of golf outings every year. The Tunnel to Towers 9/11 Institute educates kids from kindergarten through 12th grade about America's darkest day, while helping our nation keep its vow to never forget. So please support Tunnel to Towers. Donate $11 a month. Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. More than 95 cents of every dollar you donate to Tunnel to Towers goes to its programs. That's T, the number 2, another T.org. Let's go to the media. So the New York Times, they're having a revolution within that newspaper because many of their reporters don't think it's radical left enough. I don't read it because I know what they're up to over there. Why would I want to read propaganda? I don't have time. Okay, so they ran a piece yesterday about MSNBC, which is as radical left on television as the New York Times is in print. And apparently, at the top of the NBC corporation, that's Comcast out of Philadelphia, they're very worried that the NBC News brand, that's Lester Holt, the Today Show, had been damaged by the far left people at MSNBC. Legitimate story, because it's true. And the local affiliated stations, you watch Channel 4 in New York, Channel 4 in LA, whatever you watch, they're losing ratings because Republican people, conservative people, traditional people, NBC, I don't watch NBC. But in the body of the article, because the Times didn't want to directly criticize MSNBC, because they're brothers or sisters, as they say, quote, Mr. Trump's ascent shocked the Democratic base and spiked viewership of Miss Maddow and other left-leaning hosts, whose programs became a kind of televised safe space. MSNBC's ratings surged. That's what the Times write. Well, it's not true. MSNBC's ratings have never surged. They've always been terrible. And since 2020, and I had to use that comparison because that was a presidential campaign year, and now, 24, MSNBC's numbers are down 35%. That's a surge? So this is what I mean. You're just not going to get the truth from ideological news organizations. Smart Life. So Americans are in trouble financially, and that's why Joe Biden and the Democrats should lose, but they might not. And here's the latest. Federal Reserve Bank of New York said yesterday that 11% of Americans are behind on their credit card debt for more than 90 days. So that's bankruptcy period. 11%, that's a lot of folks. Total debt held by Americans, okay, is 184 billion. No, yes, 184 billion. Total debt held by Americans increased by 184 billion. Increased by 184 billion to $17 trillion. So most Americans are in debt, in big time. And prices continue to go up. Smart Life. Here's what you do. See this piece of paper? Put the machine away. Put the cell phone and computer away. Piece of paper. You write on the paper, monthly budget. You put all your in-stone expenses down, okay, in one column. This is what the mortgage is, the rent is, this is what gasoline, food, right here. Over here, this is what we take in, take-home pay, right here. Then you add them up, and you have discretionary income or debt. You may be in debt just on your vitals. But if you have discretionary income, then you say, this portion we put in the bank. Okay, this every month. You got to do it. You got to do it. If you have to file for bankruptcy, and millions of Americans are going to have to, and this is a Smart Life segment. You want to buy a house down the road, you want to buy a car, you want to buy money, you're toast. You're not going to get it. That's it. You're going to have to run by cash your whole life. Smart Life. Homeless population. So here are the 10 states with the most homeless people. Ready? California leads the league big time. New York follows. Florida, Washington State, Texas, Oregon, Massachusetts, Colorado, Arizona, Pennsylvania. Every state on that list, with the exception of Texas and Florida, is liberal. Arizona is so-so. And they have very lenient criminal justice. That means that drug addicts and dealers are all over the place. Homeless is 80% substance abuse. So New York City, LA, huge drug addict population, huge. They can't work, they won't work, they can't afford to pay rent, they're on the street. These are the states with the least homeless people. Wyoming, that's not tolerated in Wyoming, and it's too cold. North Dakota, Mississippi, Delaware, South Dakota, West Virginia, Rhode Island, Montana, Idaho, New Hampshire. New Hampshire's got a meth and heroin problem. That's interesting. And those states, most of them are conservative states, and they enforce vagrancy laws. So you can't stop it. You can't be here. Or you go into the county jail. So that's why. MyPillow is having a huge spring sale. Buy one MyPillow 2.0, get another one free. These pillows are made with cooling technology that you'll love. And this just in, they're percale bed sheets made with the finest long staple cotton, are now available in 9 brand new colors and styles. Plus, you can save 50% or more. That's as low as $24.98 a set. The deals don't end there. You can get their slippers and sandals for just $25 a pair. So please visit mypillow.com, use the promo code BILL, or call 1-800-869-0298 to get these amazing savings before they're gone. And for a limited time, when you order $75 or more, your entire order ships free. That's mypillow.com, code BILL. If you suffer from daily pain, I'd like you to listen carefully to this message. A safe and effective way to ease pain is taking the world by storm. Introducing 100% drug-free Conolidine. Conolidine has already helped more than 100,000 Americans beat pain. It is so effective, it was named the official pain reliever of the UFC. And those guys know about pain. Non-addictive, Conolidine optimizes your body's natural painkillers, bringing full body relief in 7 days or less, without a single documented side effect. Conolidine is the future of pain relief. Now the best part. When you go to trycono.com/bill, you can get it for less than $1 a day. You really are just days away from being pain-free. Again, just go to trycono.com/bill and see for yourself. All right, here's the final thought of the day. We just went through our renewal process for premium members, scraping 90%, which shows that people who are BillO'Reilly.com premium and concierge members value their membership. That's what it shows. Okay, we want new members now. If you become a premium member, you get your choice of mugs or your choice of books free. And you get access to transcripts, very important. Anything I say, you get it written down, we'll send it to you, email it to you. You get complete confidentiality. We don't sell our list to anybody. Okay? You get the message boards. You can interact with other people who are premium members. It's a lot of fun, good debates, very well stated opinion. You'll learn a lot, but mostly it's fun. Now, if you become a concierge member, which is a higher bracket, a little bit more expensive, again, get your choice of gift. Either mug, any book, but huge discounts on our stuff, okay, which you'll make money if you give Christmas gifts or birthday gifts or any gifts by becoming a concierge member. Then you get a special email that goes directly to me. You have any problem in your life, anything, you will travel, you want some advice, I will help you. I can't say medical advice or financial advice. I can say, this is what I would do, and you take it or leave it. That's the big advantage of concierge membership. Direct access to me, totally confidential. And you get the message boards, and you get the transcripts, and this is an insurance policy for your life. So that's about the best pitch I can do for BillO'Reilly.com premium and concierge membership. Father's Day gift, off the chart. Give dad premium or concierge. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News, and we will see you again on Monday. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.